What's up guys, welcome to another Gamer Tech review. My name is Shu and in this video we're going to be checking out the Enermax Fulmo ST PC case. Now I want to say a really big thank you first of all to Enermax because without them I wouldn't have been able to make this video because they sent me down the case. So thank you very much guys. Now, on with the review. Here's the box that it came in, so without further ado I'm going to take a few pictures and we'll have a bit of a tour around it. As you can see it's rather sizable and large, so let's just get to it! So here we have the packaging for the Fulmo ST made by Enermax. So in the top right corner we've got Enermax Power, Innovation, Design, and this case is part of the ECA 3270 series. Now on this side of the case of the packaging we do have an image of the case which has been done in a black outline. Now this side of the box is also similar to the other side of the box. One side of the box does have just like delivery instructions on there, so we no need to look at that. But the other side, which is quite interesting, is this one here. Now we do have the model number, so it's all part of that series. We have got dimensions of the case, so 485 by 244 by 513 millimeters. The drive bays it can fit in there, we've got three 5.25 inch drive bays, so 3 optical drives. We have 8 hidden 3.5 inch, so that would be for large hard drives. And then we have 10 2.5 inch, so that could be for small SSDs and other things like that. Now the motherboard sizes it can fit, it can take a full ATX or a micro ATX motherboard. It will take a standard 12 volt power supply, so standard full size ATX power supply. On the front of it, it has 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, and also HD audio, so you've got your headset and your microphone inputs on the front. Then for the fan slots it has, on the front it has 2 14 or 12 centimeter fan slots, so either two 140s or 2 120s. On the rear, so exhausting the case, you have 1 12 centimeter fan slots. On the side you can fit either a 23 or a 20 centimeter fan, or a 14 or two 14 or 12 centimeter fans. On the top you can fit again either 14 or 12 centimeters, 2 fans on the top. You can get one 12 centimeter fan on the bottom, and also you can fit 4 12 centimeter fans where the HDDs fit, so that's quite handy. And also totally in the expansion slots you have 8 plus 1, which is a vertical one. So with all the box nonsense out of the way, let's just crack it out, have a bit of a closer look at it, see what we can do with it, and yeah, let's take it from there. So, here is the case, all nice and out of the box. As you can see, first of all, it has got a nice big side panel window on here, which is lovely, because then you can see everything that's inside of the case, because PC cases are meant to be beautiful, supposed to be able to show it off and see what's inside the case, so the fact that it's got a nice big window on there is lovely. Also with the window, you see it is beveled and comes away from the case, and they have carried that design over onto the other side of the machine, so it does mean you have got a lot of space for cable management, which is very important as well, because if you're going to have a lot of hard drives in this case, which you can do, or if you're going to have a lot of things in there which need power, so like SLI or Crossfire graphics cards, something like that, you're going to need somewhere to put all of those cables, and the fact that they've incorporated that into the design so it mirrors it on each side instead of just putting like a bump on one edge and a flat the other is very, very good. Top notch on there. So I still do have the plastic on here because I hate taking the plastic off of things. I love to keep it on so it's all nice, pristine and new, but I will pull it down for you especially. There you go. So there is a bit of plastic on the other side as well, but as you can see from here, the glass or the plastic on there, it is tinted, so it has got a dark tint to it. So whatever you do put in there, you're going to have to make sure that it is very, very bright if you want it to light it up. Other than that, you could probably go for like a dark red or a dark blue or dark green design in there. It would look pretty nice. It would look quite dark, a bit of an evil type of a quiet design case in there. So if you wanna design your case like with unicorns and rainbows and stuff like that, probably best to go for another case. But if you're looking for a really sick design to do, then this tinted window does really add to it as well. So that's a very, very nice little feature. Now I'm just going to pop this back up because I am very, very worried that, there we go. I just don't want to scratch it, I want to keep it nice, pristine and new. So let's have a little look at the front of the unit. Just like magic, eh? And here it is. So we have got our slots for our 3 5.25 bays at the top here. So you've got space for 3 optical bays, or you could put a reservoir in there if you're going to be water cooling it, or you know, whatever goes into a 525, you can pop it in there. We've got our Enermax logo just on the front here, and also this front unit, it does pull off really easily. If I just put a bit of, there we go. So that's the grate that pulls off here. If I give you a bit of a close-up, you should be able to see that there is foam in between these bits here, so you have got a dust filter built into this unit, which is quite handy. Also, the dust filters on the 5.25 as well, these do come off here. I haven't seen a way, well, you would be able to take the fluff off here as well. You just got these little metal bits on the edges, which you'd have to bend off and pull out. So if you do want to swap these out, if you don't want to give it a wash, it is possible. It'll just be a little bit of fiddly and take you a fair few minutes to do that, which is no problem. Then, on the front here, as you can see, we have got two 140mm fans. Now, this will take either 140 or 120mm, as we learned from the box as well. These are white LED fans, and I believe that these ones, they are red in colour. So, it does come in red and it does come in blue, so you have to make sure you pick which one that you want to on there. Or, if it doesn't matter, if you're going to be putting your own fans in there, then get whatever you want, and then swap them out, and then put these fans wherever you like. But yeah, so these do go straight through to the HDD bays, so you do have cooling in there straight away. So even if you wanted to put a reservoir or like a pump or something in there, these will keep that cool, which is very, very good. So yeah, let's just whack the front back on and have a look at the top again, as if by magic. So this is our top little section we have on here. Again, as you can see, we have got this kind of grating system on the top, which is very, very, very handy. We have on here a little button which actually turns the lights on and off, controls the lights on the fans on the front, and you also do have a little fan control at the top as well, so you can adjust the speeds just by this little switchy bit here. Now you've got our reset button and we have our power button, both of those are lit up as well, and then you have got your standard USB 2.0 ports, and then you've got your USB 3, your headset jack, and then your microphone jack as well. So everything on this case is accessible on this top little panel bit here, not on the front section. So there are your buttons, that's everything here. So now let's have a look at the other side. So this is the back panel, as we talked about earlier. So it does have the exact same design as that front side window, apart from there is no window in here, but because it's got this, it's mirrored and it gives us much more cable management space, which is exactly what we're looking for in a case like this, because we're going to have a lot of cabling going everywhere. But it does, yeah, it's very nice, it fits into everything else. Also, while we're here, we may be able to, I'm losing the magic on this because I'm showing you while I'm doing it. No, we've got the bottom bit. So we have got our space for our 120mm fan, and it's this section here, again from what we read from the cardboard box earlier, and then this is where your power supply goes. Now on this bottom section here, you can see you have got these graty bits. This one has got these little screws on here, so I can't take this one off, but this one here I should be able to just whack off quickly for you. So as opposed to the majority of cases out there which usually have like a foam or kind of mesh something, this is actually a very thin metal mesh it's got on the bottom here, which uses it as a filter. So in regards to taking this off and cleaning it, it's going to be, you're not going to have to stand there drying it for ages. It's literally going to take it out, shove it in some water, dry it off with a towel, and then that's everything done with this bit of metal, thin metalness. Now I'm going to have to play about getting this back in, so with some more magic, let's have a look at the back. And there we have it. Here is the back of the case, the last section of this case roundup for the outside of it. Ooh, isn't it exciting? So we have our 140mm fan on the back there, and then we've also got our power supply unit. This is where the section goes for the power supply. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 expansion slots, again as we know from the bay, and then that's our one vertical one there. So we have got our 9 in total with our one vertical. So if you do have like a PCIe fan controller, something like that, which doesn't actually need to go into a PCIe slot, you can pop that there. Also, you can get expansion slots where you can use for cable management. So if you are going to LAN, you can use it as like a security device, and you can like just lock everything in there. So that's quite handy to have. And then you've got our motherboard accessible bit here, and then we've got our 2 ports for some external water cooling. So if you did want to mount a 140 water cooling unit on here, then you would be able to. And then we also do have an extra little grommet on this side here, and those little things are quite handy for if you want to put like an extra button on there. So if you do have it on the table and you can't access like the power button on the top, you could put a little switch on the back there for it as well, or again a little switch for lights, a little switch for fans, pretty much anything you want. It gives you that little extra point for customization on the case if you want to. So that's quite handy. So let's just quack the sides off and have a look inside the case. While I'm doing this as well, it's handy to know that it does come with thumb screws, so they do all thumb off, but they do also have Phillips head in the middle of them. So if you don't want to tighten them up a bit more than just the finger tight, so it makes it harder for people just to finger them off, then you can do that as well. But yeah, 2 for each door. Those come off. Let's get the sides off. So there's one side there, pretty much a standard side of a panel. As you can see, you've got the indentation bit taken out here, and we have the other front panel come off. There we go, and then there's your other plastic side for it. So you can see that's normal. that's through the thing. So you can see how much of a tint that the screen, the window does have on the rest of like the world. So it will make whatever you put in there a little bit darker, but a nice string of LEDs will definitely lighten that up inside the case for you. So having a little look at the back first, let's get the back bit out of the way. We have all our cables coming down from the top I/O unit here, so all of our front accessible bits, those all cable come down and then go inside the case. We also do have our, for our buttons for our lights. We've got the back fan on there. So these buttons for the lights, that goes straight up to the top. We've got 2 fans here, and everything's all cabled together, ready to go straight into the Mobo, which is quite handy. One of the things with this case, which I'm not generally a big fan of, is that the back section bit for the hard drives, it doesn't actually have a wall on it. So if you don't have all of these bays filled up and you do have some cables, you can see through the bays to the back to the cables. So you can see if it's a bit messy if you're not that hot on cable management. Other than that, everything needs to be back behind this section of the Mobo, and it can get quite become a quite high traffic area. But then if you do have this stacked with hard drives, then no one's going to see the cabling and it's not really going to be an issue. So it swings and roundabouts really. I mean, if you're using this, it's going to be cables, but if you're using this, then the cables are going to be hidden by the hard drives that are going to be in there. So it kind of cancels the problem out. So it's just me having a poke really, I suppose. Just having a little poke. But yeah. All the screws and things, I'm probably pulling this out through the wrong way, but I love how people mount these. This pretty much just mounts, I've just pulled that out so it's kind of ruined the box now, but they mounted the all the little extra screws and bits into one of the hard drive bays. But let's have a little look to see, let's see what we get included in here then. We have got a Molex to 2-pin fan connector, so that'll be for these bits here. So if you want to, we have another Molex to 2-pin fan connector, which is quite good. And remember, that's 2-pin, not a 3-pin, so that'll definitely be for turning on the lights and powering those. We do get included, we have 5. We have 5 cable ties, so 5 black standard cable ties here. And we also come with a little instruction book about the case, what pins go where, so just a basic kind of guff of what a case is, how to use it, what's included with it, etc. And then we get finally our mounting screws. So yeah, all of our little mounting screws in there, which is quite nice. And the bag's got a hole in, and I've just dropped 2 screws on the floor, but that's okay. So yeah, nice few little extra bits in there. Now let's turn it around and have a look on the inside. And there it is, just like magic again, eh guys? So this is the inside section of the case that you can see. Now we do have our 5.25 inch bay at the top here, and it has got those nice and easy quick release systems. So it is all toolless, it is all screwless, you don't have to mess about with it. All you need to do is flick this little plastic toggle from the unlock position to the lock position, and then your drive isn't going anywhere, and that is for all 3 of those here. Then we've got our 8 hard drive bays, so our 8 3.5 inch bays that we've got, 3.5, yeah, 3.5 inch, what's that? And these are all toolless again. So all you do is slip your hard drive in there. You have got these little rubber bits, as you can see. So this is our little tool. Those press together and lock everything in place. And we have got these little rubber bits here. So all you do is literally poke your drive into place. Then you've got this little lock here, which presses everything in together and locks everything in place. And again, there's one on the other side. So you can really just put your hard drives in and take them out so easy. It's absolutely crazy. And then once that's in the drive bay, all you need to do is push that back in there, push it in until it locks. That's locked into place. Now that drive isn't going anywhere. And that is, again, for all of them for the 8. A cool little feature as well I like this. There's 2 extra cool little features I want to go with you quickly. One of them is this section, so this 4 drive bay bit here. It is toolless and it just pulls straight out of the case. So if you have got a long graphics card or something like that, which isn't really fitting in with the motherboard on there, or if you just don't need this, if this is, because this will restrict fan flow from this fan here. So if you want to get more air into the case and you're not stacking up this with hard drives, just whack this out and then you'll get better airflow coming in from the front of the fan, from the fans on the front. So these 2 LED ones here, this will give you much better airflow if you just pop this out. So that is always a handy thing to know. The other cool thing with this case, which I do really love, and I probably love it a bit too much, is this little SSD mount here. Now with this little SSD mount, you've got enough space in here for 2 2.5 inch drives. So if you do have any SSDs in your computer, you have got your special own little hiding place for them. Now this is also a place where you can fit a 120mm fan as well. In order to do that, there are the screws on the bottom, which I said earlier, which you just unscrew, and then this little cage will come out of place here. But it is really nice that they've actually incorporated its own little home for SSDs in the case. Usually with cases, if they're big enough, I like to mount the SSDs in a place where you can see them and like show them off a little bit, to be like, hey look, I've got SSDs that you're on regular hard drives, haha, I boot faster than you. But with this one here, even though they're hidden, they're safe. Even though they're not, even though they are hidden, that's the one. Even though they are kind of hidden, they're in a position where the cable management is going to be really easy because the cables go straight out of the back behind the motherboard tray. They're just in a nice safe position because they're solid on the metal. It is a full metal construction, this bit, so that is very, very handy to have. And yeah, that's just like another nice little extra bit. So now I'm just going to quickly pop the back of the case on so you can see what it looks like without all this backdrop here. And that's what it looks like with the rear of the case on. So as you can see, it now looks a lot darker in there. So I'm quickly going to do the finger test for you, which is something I like to do with these cases. So if I just run that out of there. So from the back of the tray to the back of the case, you have that much finger. So from here all the way to there. So I'd say you've got a good, I'd say that's roughly an inch, if not a little bit more than an inch cable space management which you've got in there, and that's because of that bendy out bit on the back panel, also from the motherboard tray. So you have got a lot of cable management space in there, which is really, really, really good and very, very important to have, because if there's nowhere to put your cables, you've got nowhere to put your cables. It makes that much sense. I was very impressed with this case. When it arrived, I had a little look at it and I thought it kind of looked a little bit not as exciting as some of the cases out there, but I got it out of the box, and as soon as I started to play with it and see what I could do with it, I was very, very satisfied. The fact that there is so much room, you've got like inch of space between the back of the motherboard tray and the back side panel. So you have got a lot of space for cable management again, which I've said is very, very important. You can fit 8 hard drives in there, and the fact that if you're not going to have 8 hard drives and use it for a server, you can take one of those 4 cages out is really, really good. I like that design feature. Also, again, if you've got extended graphics cards and need that extra room for cable management, then you can do that. Also, on the bottom, that little section where you've got the little SSD bit, for the 2.5 inch hard drives, that is lovely. I do love that little extra feature. And the fact that it detaches so easily with those 4 screws on the bottom, it's just such a great little extra design feature in there. So again, something that I really, really liked with the case. Also, the other thing that I liked is that everything is accessible on the top of the case. A lot of people these days, they'll have their computer like on the floor next to them, so the fact that you don't have to like fumble around with your hand on the front of the case, the buttons are all just there on the top, is very nice. I know if you're using it in like a cupboard or something, you have to pull it out and open the door and do all that. It's going to be a bit tricky for you, but to be honest, it shouldn't be in a cupboard anyway, because where's the airflow? It's just going to sit there and get hot. So yeah, the little SSD thing, the 8 hard drives, so you can take 4 of them out if you want to. It just seems to work, and I really like this case. It's a very formal case. I feel like it's a very proud like case. If you look at it, it's like proud. It's not like there for like, yeah, let's have lots of fun. It's more of a, you know, look at me, I'm a very nice and very formal. I'm wearing a suit. This case is wearing a suit, and everything that it does it very well. So thank you very much to Enermax for sending me the case to have a little look at and review. I do really, really, really want to build a system in there. I want to see what kind of water cooling system I can build in there as soon as I can get some water cooling parts from someone. Wink, wink, wink. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please do rate, comment, subscribe. If there's anything you like about the videos or the case, please do comment, put a comment below. I will reply. If you comment asking me a question, I will reply to you. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in another one. Bye guys. Whoa.